All right, and we're live, and I think this might set the record for most like Brady Bunch windows I've had on one of these chats. I don't think I've had more than I think 5 might be the record. Like this is a new bar. So
we're even
congrats.
short one person.
Yeah, if Danny shows up, we're gonna smash it.
I told him to go to the studio. Kidding.
Told Danny to go to.
All right, so we got one more track here, and then we'll be on the radio. Should we like take the time to introduce everybody on the radio, just because there's going to be so many voices? I mean, like right now, everyone can kind of see each other, if that makes sense. So, but like, let's take some time to actually do that, just because not everyone knows. I do kind of like the vid chat simultaneously, and then there's this whole group of people that like the vid chat is all they watch. So just kind of explaining. But yeah, after this track, which is going to be 4 more minutes anyway, we'll be on the air. So how did the show go last night?
Great.
Good, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it was good. I did a Kool-Aid Man impression.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Killed.
yeah, that was probably the best part. No, it was great. We had Admiral Fox on with us, and
Just about to ask.
I've been wanting to play with Admiral Fox
Yeah.
since like 2020. And I went to a show of theirs at Astor Cafe in 2020 in like February, and I was like, we've got to set up a show, and then we had to wait.
I guess we all did.
Yeah.
These last 2 years. It's wild because like I was just kind of talking about this with a few people, where like anytime I either talk about like seeing a show, working a show, playing a show, inevitably someone's like, yeah, I guess the last show I saw was like 2019.
Yeah.
That's not right. It was just like more like 2020. It was like there's like this 2-year gap of seeing anybody, let alone local bands.
I think the real highlight for me of the show last night was that now that it is our 3rd show at the 331 Club, we figured out the right way to cram us all onto that little postage stamp of the stage.
The Tetris must be impressive.
Yeah.
So is it ever evolving, or do you think you found the winning like recipe?
I think we got it.
Nice. Okay, so Admiral Fox played with y'all last night. We'll probably re-mention that. And forgive me if I retread on certain things. I usually try to come up with 5 questions, and sometimes they just get answered on their own anyway. But if I think something is like, oh, we should talk about that on the air to the audience that has no idea this chat exists. So yeah, forgive me. My brain is mush right now. I think I fell asleep at like 4:30.
Fire. I got 3 hours of sleep last night after the show. I had to get the wife to work at 6 a.m, and I'm Death Wish coffee for the win.
Hey.
Woo! I just appreciate like you're here, Annie. You're a trooper. It's not easy to do anything. I'm just saying anything.
Annie is everybody's favorite
Do anything on 3 hours. So
Is someone running their vacuum in the background?
I don't know.
I'm hearing a shh.
Here.
It could be.
I think it's my computer.
Oh yeah, now that I turned down the monitor, there's something there. I mean, I don't know. It could be like just general feedback of having a chat live. But
With this many people, it might be a good idea to stay muted and unmute when you want to say something. If whoever just
Yeah,
muted it-
headphones. Put on headphones.
the talking stick. Yeah, well, oh, that helps. That helps. I don't hear as much as the.
I don't hear it at all anymore. It just disappeared.
Yeah, it went away.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, like about 15 seconds, and then we will be live in 2 places at once. Stand by. Lovely Dark. They have a release show this weekend. We also heard Freedy Johnson, who also has a release show this weekend. That was a track he made with Amy Mann called Darlin', and that's off his new record. That single is out now. And we also heard a new single from The Common Practice, who I'm joined with right now here on Desert Islands. If you're just tuning in, it's the top of the hour here at KFAI Fresh Air Community Radio, and this is Desert Islands. I'm your host. You can call me Doc. This is the show where I make mixtapes for my guests based on the 10 records they would bring to a desert island. So let's introduce The Common Practice, because I know I see folks watching on the vid chat, and you can kind of see all of our faces, and names actually were said, but it's kind of difficult in an audio only medium. So how should we introduce y'all? Like we should introduce everyone in The Common Practice, because I think this is a record for most people I've had in the studio or on vid chat. So Andrew, should we start with you, just because like you're directly to my right on the box, or my left?
Why not?
The other left.
Just to make things extra confusing with this many people, I can keep changing my voice every time I.
Ooh. So this is Andrew Lentz. So you play piano in The Common Practice. Well, I guess I have some questions. So let's introduce everyone first. Let's keep going here. I guess Kaylee?
I'm Kaylee. Kaylee Factorial. I play guitar. I'm one of the singers. I write a lot of the songs.
All right, let's keep going. Liz, I guess we'll go to the next one over and keep moving.
Cool. My name's Liz Cates. I play guitar and I sing harmonies.
My name's Annie Macy. I play bass guitar and general band morale, I guess. Human resources for band morale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's needed.
He's our cheerleader.
Yeah, she does the programs. And I'm Bryce. I play drum kit. I also am mastering our EP, making it sound loud and stuff.
Woohoo!
That's what I do. I sit in the back on the stage. I'm always behind everybody. You can't usually see me, especially at 331.
we try and make sure of it.
Yeah. You don't want to see this anyway.
I wanted to hang a big curtain in front of Bryce, but they wouldn't let me.
Oh, well, last but certainly not least.
Yeah, hi, I'm CB. I play cello and I do vocals as well. And I write a lot of the material with Kaylee and company. Not pictured, Daniel Lentz, who's Andrew's brother, plays violin with us. Also is Master Shake on the programs.
The programs are amazing. I love the attention to detail that you actually do a program, like even at house shows. Like I've seen you play at house shows, and you still have a program for every attendee. And there's like a set list and artwork, and like it just makes everything seem thematic. How did you start doing this? Was this from the get-go? Sorry? Say that again?
I just said Bryce does a really good job making this.
The program started as an idea Caitlin and I have been in bands for a long time together. We're married, and neither of us is good at the talking part like I'm really good at like singing a song in front of people, and I can be really engaging, but I like can't talk to a crowd, and Caitlin can't really either.
No, I just do Kool-Aid Man impressions, and
so the program started as an idea for us to avoid having to talk to the audience.
There we go. There we go.
But
Nice.
they made one key mistake. They added me to the band, and I have trouble not talking.
What? So you all have like different roles in this band, especially with an ensemble with so many writers. How do you arrange in that situation with so many people bringing songs to the table, like you said? Because like you start writing as a duo, but you also have other perspectives in the
Yeah,
mix.
that's word.
So how does like is it are there arrangements or what? Take it away because there's so many folks here and you know more than I do.
So I guess what Kaylee and I found is that we could be very, very efficient by scoring out lead sheets in music notation with the melody and then, chord symbols above. And usually takes us about 30 minutes to chart a song. And then we decided that like we wanted to be in a band, so we asked like a whole bunch of people because we wanted to cast a wide net. And then everybody just sort of said yes and started coming to our house every Sunday. And then what ended up happening was like a lot of the material that we'd written, and some of it is, several years old, started just turning into different things because we did have all these different and interesting perspectives. And so we decided to tack on an additional rehearsal every week that we call Tuesday, and sometimes
regardless of the day it falls on.
Yeah, regardless of the day it falls on, it is always called Tuesday.
Tuesday, I like it.
Where we do like a reduced number of us, and we just sit there, and Andrew kind of takes the reins on constructing the 4-part vocal harmonies.
Sure.
And we talk about like, how do we want to intro this? And so things kind of take a lot of shape on Tuesdays, and then we kind of bring it to the noise machine of like Bryce and Annie on Sundays, and they just like make our very nice songs about feelings into things that are cool that people want to listen to.
Yeah, what I am amazed you can get that many people committed, but like also just in one place on several times a week, let alone for this radio show. I'm very impressed that we almost got everyone. Like this is like that's an A, like so
Can we put that on our website?
Let's talk about the Noise Machine, because we just heard your new single, but is this part of an upcoming EP? How did am I giving too much away, or can we talk about this collection of songs?
Yeah, so this collection of songs we're tentatively calling the Sister Skeptical series, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of just gonna slow burn it, maybe throw out a single once every 3 months, but at this point, and eventually, perhaps we'll release some kind of special edition EP of this like first inception of this of these 4 tracks. But I think the idea is to be looking toward a full album which is difficult because we have 180 minutes of original material to like.
Yeah, and where do you begin?
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of where do you begin, where did you track this?
So we went through James Gross, who our violinist Danny works with in the band Shirts and Skins, and he's like that guy. And he has a terrific studio in his home, and the process of tracking was fantastic. I was like totally blown away by everybody and just like their diligence. I mean, most of like these 4 tracks are done in like 1 to 2 takes per person, and you
So
know,
you work fast. Yeah.
So it was really a pretty incredible experience, you know, thanks to James, of course, and then just thanks to like everyone in the group just being extremely solid. I couldn't believe like watching Bryce do like a single take drum track.
Well, if folks like what they heard, where can they hear it again? Is this still unreleased, or is there a place where people can check this out right now?
So right now, we've got the single streaming on our website. I've been a little bit lackadaisical, I guess, about getting things in order. I know we have like the means
on
to
YouTube.
sort of... Oh, it is
There
on
you go.
YouTube.
There you
That's
go.
right. There's a video.
Yep.
Yes.
The video was made by Chelsea Oxborough.
Oh, nice. Chelsea's great. Chelsea's great. Well, that is also great. You can check out the new video on your website on YouTube. You can also check out us on YouTube if you're just tuning in. This is Desert Islands, the show where I make mixtapes for my guests based on the 10 records they bring to a desert island. Today I'm making one for the Common Practice. We just talked about their new single here on Desert Islands. Let's keep going with the mixtape. By the way, if we don't have time to play the whole mixtape, I'm going to post the link to it underneath the link to this video stream on our social media. So head to Facebook and you can find that. You can find all the tracks we didn't have time for. And you can also find the playlist of tracks that we did. So let's keep going. Here's Tool here on KFAI. Can y'all still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I never know what button I press will just shut the whole thing down anymore. Especially at this point where it's like it's such a delicate web of like whose internet connection is going to give out first, mine or y'all. So how did you do the list? Did everyone get one? And then were there crossovers? Because like 10 is hard for so many members. It's just like, okay, everyone gets 1.5 albums. You get, you know what? Actually, you get a chorus. You can only pick a chorus. So who got majority rule if there was one?
Well, we all got one, but one album for a desert island was a little too high stakes for us. So we reframed it to the one album you would take to Germany.
That was a typographical error.
I had to reframe it more specific to be like, what album would I listen to in a album length car ride tomorrow?
Okay.
You know, what do I need in this moment in my personal, you know, proverbial desert island, right?
Yeah. Of course. Okay, so Annie, is Tool your pick?
How did you guess?
Well, like I actually had a lot of fun putting this together because like there's so many bands on this list where it's just like all bands of that size are going to attract fans. Like a lot of these bands are like kind of household names in a way, but they're also kind of not. Like they've kind of managed to like escape the mainstream while being like these huge monolithic things in their own worlds. Like some of these bands have fans where it's just like yeah, they like band size are about like bound to have fans, but they have fans where it's like this is all they listen to. You know, like it's cool. It's like the Grateful Dead is another one of those bands.
Maybe again. If
hold on, we got. Hold on, there we go.
How's that? I think someone is unmuted. Who should be muted.
That's better. All right, I can go mute again. It might be my internet connection. I live in an old brick building, so it might be me.
No worries.
Bye.
Oh.
I think it's someone's mic picking up the output of their speaker and then feeding it back through the mic.
Yeah, I mean it's bound to happen with this many mics. But yeah, I had a lot of fun because like I just kind of filled in the cracks with more of those bands. Like, and I did my best, but it was a lot of fun to put together. Kaylee, are you Alice in Chains?
No.
Really? Dang.
Caitlin is Alice in Chains. I had picked Stevie Wonder.
Nice. Okay, so now the whole thing falls apart.
See, they didn't make my list, but I have to give honorable mention to a California-based band, Cheek Face, that has been on heavy rotation in my life lately. They are quite fun.
Nice. I actually, if we have time for it, put some Ozma on on the playlist.
You know, it's funny you bring them up because that's actually how I found out about Cheek Face when I drove to California to see the Ozma reunion show for Rock and Roll Part 3. Cheek Face was the only band that opened for both nights.
No way. Okay, when was that? I didn't realize they were done already.
that was my last hurrah before the pandemic.
As is tradition at this point. Yeah, it's like I really don't know like how to like judge time anymore, mainly because I'm so sleep deprived, but also like everything just kind of feels like a dream at this point. like memories, yesterday. Like I don't even know. So I figure after we do this break, just because these songs are a little bit longer, we'll have time for either like 2 small talk breaks or like 1 like just talk break. And I figure we can like really delve into the residency and who's going to play with you, where you're playing, and try to say that as much as possible. So Tuesdays at the 331, right? So like we'll repeat that when we're on the air, and then just kind of who the acts you're playing with, and how many. Like, do you have just 1 support and then you take it away, or are there more acts on certain nights, and that kind of thing. So 2 more songs in this set, and then we'll go from there. But I think by the time we get there, we'll be kind of like already running out of time, if that makes sense.
I don't know, Kaylee, what do you, if you guys think maybe we should also mention our big October show?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Anything you want to mention, let me know, because we can just like naturally bring that up. So what's happening in October?
That is an announce of Caitlin's candidacy for president.
Oh,
That's how it started. So on October 29th, I'm turning 35. So
yeah, so you can you're eligible to run. Okay.
So I'm eligible to run for president, and I would do a good job.
Certainly, the bar has been set pretty low of late.
You could turn the band into a super PAC.
Yeah, essentially.
The common factor.
We meet on Sundays at my house.
And the other thing that's kind of special about that show is it's us, and then it's all of our sort of bands-in-law. Bryce's,
Oh, nice.
Bryce's project
Nice.
Confuciusaurus is closing it down, and my group, The Floating Perspectives, is opening it up.
Perfect.
Common practice sandwich.
Yep.
Well, that's like a drink your Ovaltine for that. Like I feel like that's like some of y'all will be doing a triple. I get or no, is that possible? Doubles only?
I think it's
just
doubles
doubles.
only. Yeah.
Okay, that's still nothing to sneeze at. Okay, yeah, let's definitely mention that when we're on the radio, and I'll let you just kind of bring that up because I want to make sure the date is correct, and I might forget it by the time we get there. No guarantees. And then of course 331. Anything else you'd like to mention, both internet or on air? I mean, some things we can just kind of talk about and not really have a plan, but like anything else besides the October show?
So we have some artwork kind of coming underway. I don't know how much we can really talk about it, but
we can talk about onions,
Yes, we can.
pigs, and a lot.
It's a very layered topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Liz Cates is not only doing guitar and vocals, but also is going to be, or is in process of doing the artwork, which will, soon be featured on our programs.
Oh, nice.
So the programs are going to be getting a little bit of a facelift, and it was really fun to collaborate with you on this because Liz is very good at still life and like really organic things, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Can you make like a house, but it's an onion?
Right, and I'm like,
okay,
I need to go get an onion.
Yeah, okay. So
And
there
I'm
really
gonna-
are layers to this conversation.
Yeah.
we're back to the onion.
Yeah,
So
like
are
an
the programs going to constantly go through eras like that? Because you had the light bulb logo for a while.
Yeah.
Is this going to be like the new, like a series of this? Do you plan on running this for a while? Do you have other ideas for like, seasons coming up?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of ideas all the time. And it's usually one of those things where I really need to pump the brakes. Because I think the programs would look different every show if like
Right.
I just was allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But the programs will retain the light bulb image, but Liz is giving that a bit of a facelift.
Cool. Okay.
Right. Caitlin's ideas are probably one of the best things about being in this band, because every other group that I've ever been a part of, including the one that I'm responsible for running, like when it comes to social media and promotion and things like that, like everyone's just kind of like, well, I don't know, I'll share this event for our show, and like Caitlin is a real marketing expert, and it's
that stuff
fun
is
put that in her hands.
a full-time job sometimes. Like it's funny because like people think like, oh yeah, like the more we get this thing going, we're just going to keep getting to a level where we don't have to do that. But the reality, it's opposite. The busier you get as an artistic venture, the more you have to do that crap, and it just like it just becomes this all in like consuming beast that like always needs to be fed. It can never get enough. Like you always like, because even if you get like engagement on your posts, like the thing will like send you a message where it's just like, hey, that's a nice engagement you got there. You should try doing this. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to really focus too much on that time. They're like, yeah, that's okay. You could also sponsor this post. It's like, yeah, I really, like I'm just kind of trying to like. And then eventually, if you keep saying no, it like turns into this like weird like mafioso conversation where it's just like, hey, that's a nice little following you built there. Oh, hey, thanks. You're like, yeah, it'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And it's just like,
your posts aren't performing as well this week. And I'm
right.
like,
Have you tried reel?
You haven't
Maybe your post would perform better if you made a reel. Just one reel. Give it a try. It's only 3 seconds, huh?
You're really making me rethink promoted posts as like paying protection money.
Yeah. Sometimes I will see creatives I know like make one of those, and it's like sponsored, and it's just like I vacillate between like, oh, good for them, and it's just like, oh man, that looks hard. Do they need help? Is this a hostage situation?
Yeah, one day Mark Zuckerberg walked in with like a printed out copy of one of our posts, and he like lit it on fire in front of us and asked for money.
Very traumatizing moment.
Yeah. Social media is always going to be something where you have to do it. But the thing about this is that you don't. It's never going to replace making real connections with people at shows.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another like reason for the programs is like I want to give something physical to people.
Yes. Yeah.
And I want to have be creating memories, because I don't remember what I look at on Facebook.
Well, all that stuff is affecting our memories too. But like I've been kind of working shows since they came back, and I've noticed that like people, like it or not, are just choosing to be together rather than like it's say what you will about the metaverse. I think people are just like, nah, we're doing this again. So like it is nice to kind of have a personal touch to these situations, because you are making memories.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we gather at these things. And like also to social media's credit and all these like gadgetries and gizmos and like phones, they are our attempt at like freezing time. Like all human existence is like it's a quest to freeze time in a way. And there are healthy ways of doing that, and there are unhealthy ways of doing that. But so how do you feel about attending shows that say no cell phones at all? Like, would you prefer something like that? Or sorry, I'm getting that echo thing again. So like, yeah, how do y'all feel about that practice?
I would love that. I mean, honestly, I would love that at every show. Like, the thing I hate the most as a performer right now is that like the second I get on stage and I'm playing, I feel like everyone's watching me through like a screen. Like as soon as the phones come out, and like please don't videotape me. You're not gonna watch that later.
But
and nobody wants to watch that on Facebook. Nobody wants to watch a live video on Facebook. They always sound terrible, and like it's very rare that people just like, oh, it's sick, a live Facebook video of a band. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think people are also like stream fatigued because like for a while, for like a hot minute, it was actually kind of fun. And now it's just like, all right, we get it. It's like everyone is doing a stream. Like at any given, like we're literally doing a stream right now. And it's become like so ubiquitous that I do think like even if the sound is good, like people kind of watch it and then if they want to, they'll come back to it later. But I do think people are just kind of tapped out on that. But I they can also be like wonderful tools to like actually make somewhat decent video takes of something. It's just, but at this point,
my impression of streams is that it's great if you already like have a big following, but no one's really gonna gonna find out about you through a live stream.
I mean people have luck with Twitch, but I feel like musicians on Twitch are different than like streamers on Twitch.
Right.
Stand by. Coheed and Cambria. We also had some Alice in Chains in that set and Tool at the top. If you're just tuning in, this is Desert Islands, the show where I make mixtapes based on my guests' 10 records they would bring to a desert island. And today I am making one for the Common Practice. So if you were unaware, they have a residency right now at the 331, and they just wrapped up their first performance with Admiral Fox last night at the 331. So are y'all playing every Tuesday this month?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So who do you have playing with you next week and then beyond?
So next week we have my friend Roz, who's also gone by Paper Doll, and is just a fantastic singer-songwriter, extremely prolific, has written something like 200 songs. Totally brilliant and lovely person.
Is that Tuesday the 13th?
Yep, Tuesday the 13th. And then also on that show is going to be Kinder Dosage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll be really fun. And I'm excited for that show because it'll be pretty contrasted with the acts. The two acts that I've chosen are very different from each other, and I like that.
Yeah.
And then we're joined on the 20th with Ben Cook Phelps.
Oh, nice. Ben's great.
You're a good friend, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Know him? Like, he's all right?
Oh yeah, we go way back, Ben and I.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, he's lovely and
great band too. He's got a killer group of musicians with him.
Yes.
I hope he plays his very dramatic version of Margaritaville.
Oh man. Spoiler alert. I mean, although he doesn't throw those in as much as you think anymore. Like it's like you kind of have to get lucky. So maybe it will be this month at the 331. So is that not this upcoming week, but the next one?
He'll be on the 20th. So that's after next week, and then the week after that we're going to be joined by Jordy Vaughn.
Oh, nice.
Who has a just gorgeous EP out right now. And she approached me about playing at the residency, and I had not heard her music, and I just went and found it online, and I was like, wow, this is so nice to listen to.
Yeah.
It's just really well done. Kind of, another take on kind of this jazz rock.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so pleasant to listen to.
That sounds great. So what can we expect for these dates at the 331? When does music start?
9:30 p.m. And usually we will have our guests go first. You know, and then we play after they do.
Closing it out every single night. Well, so we are making a mixtape for y'all tonight at this morning, and I probably am not going to have time to get to all of it, so I will share the mixtape I made underneath this video. You can get a link to it, to the Common Practices mixtape based on the 10 records they would bring to a desert island. We got some Radiohead, we got some Ween coming up, but here is some Osmond here on KFAI. Yeah, I wanted to make sure, because we are actually like running out of time, that we get some of it in, because I definitely spent too much time yakking. We're not going to get to all of it, but that's okay. If you like it, feel free to listen to it, share it, listen to it again. It's on Spotify. I know that's kind of like controversial waters at this point, like what streaming service people use, if you use any of them at all. I know people are like, that's like kind of like the new I don't have a smartphone. It's just like, not. Oh no, we're getting a call, but this thing is on Zoom now and I don't want to. Dang it. I feel like if I answer this studio call, I'm gonna like end this call, and then like we're too late in the game to like restart it. I feel like that would just be like, that would be it. So like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna answer that call. I swear I'm not ignoring you. But like, I don't know. See, that's the problem with like, I feel like I'm already staring at enough screens that I throw that into the mix on like 3 hours sleep. It's just like, we might not find our way back. Metaphorically or literally, the whole thing might shut down. Sorry, whoever called. I wasn't ignoring you, but thank you for calling. I'm glad people still call in. It can be fun. I wish I answered more. Sometimes I just miss it. My ADHD just like, I get the blinders on and I just like, if it's not making noise, I will probably I will probably not be able to pick up on it. But yeah, that will be available later, and I don't know. We got time for maybe possibly 6 songs, realistically 4.5, but let's go for 5. So how did you go about booking this residency? Like, is this like the Desert Islands picks list? Did everyone kind of get some input? Did bands contact you? Because I know that sometimes that happens. Did you come up with like a theme for the bookings? Was it one person booking or was it by committee?
I don't know. We
lost Danny.
We lost Danny. Well, I don't know. I really wanted to book people that I like to listen to.
Of course, always helps.
And also people that like I don't get to see very much. You know, Kaylee and I are parents, and we don't get out much.
Yeah, if we want to see a band, we kind of have to book a show with them.
Yeah, I think that's like pretty common. That's kind of how I feel about like a lot of my musical friends. Like which is kind of a drag, because like it's not that I don't want to go to other people's shows. It's like I am literally unable to come to most shows. Not like, and it's like not yours specifically. It's all things. And I think that's true for a lot of musicians, where it's just like, if they're not already playing a gig in town, they are rehearsing for a gig that they have to play later, or, you know, so it's not that like it's a sign of like not supporting, but like sometimes like it's really hard to get other musicians to go to shows unless you're playing with them. Especially now that like gigs are back, like I feel like when I started playing again, I was like playing like it was going out of style, because I kind of thought it was. You know, and like so like, but now that like things are like kind of like shows and gatherings are kind of like part of the public consciousness, like part of life and swing of things again. Things are kind of back to like the saturation, where before it was just like, oh, there's only like 3 things going this week, what a treat, let's all go to these things. Now it's back to like, yeah, there's like 6 shows a day. Like it, like my calendar aside, you know, like look at Undercurrent's calendar, like every day has like a paragraph of shows. So yeah, it really is hard to like even see other musicians unless you book them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other like huge part of what we wanted to do was, at least I know for Kaylee and I, like our favorite shows to go to are like where band to band nothing sounds the same and there's no cohesion whatsoever. Like, throw caution to the wind, we are having a bluegrass band followed by like some goth rock, and then like I'm here for it.
Well, when we first started playing in Fargo was like an all metal scene, and we were not a metal band. And, and it was like the shows we would get booked at, it would be like all these metal bands and then us. But it worked. But it worked. Like, and you know, people dug it. People liked it.
So, I actually think there is something to curation, where like, you know, sometimes a club is like, no, we're only a hardcore venue, we're only a metal venue. But like, I actually do think people who go to shows a lot appreciate when not every band sounds the same. Because like, even if you're a fan of that band or a fan of that genre, sometimes it's just like, all right, cool, we got another emo band coming up, and there's 4 bands after that, and guess what? They're all emo bands. It's like, and some people dig that, but sometimes people like the contrast for the sake of like, oh yeah, like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, and like you kind of get a second wind by just kind of mixing things up a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, I've struggled with like maybe sometimes feeling like even like the music and the ideas that I have are a little too bizarre for like the general public. Like, I should not go outside, like that sort of thing. Like, I just should put a bag over my head and work in customer service and shut up. But what I've found is that like people are a lot more open and receptive to new ideas than like I think most people give them credit for. Like,
yeah,
you know,
like people like to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about live performing, is like you can rehearse something all you want. Like, you do have to realize that like there is an element of the night, of the room, of the audience that you cannot plan for, and you do have to react and interact with. Because sometimes playing something like note perfect doesn't work. Not because it's not like a well done thing that you made and like spent time on, but like it's just like sometimes the audience was, like not looking for that, or they were, and they just were like politely listening to it, and that's how they responded to it, and that's fine. But it's like always like never what you expect.
Oh yeah, I mean, like last night at our show, like there were like some of our stuff kind of leans a little neoclassical almost at times.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
And there was like totally these like super cool looking guys. Like they had nice jeans and cool hair, and they were like they were like conducting. And like they were like getting in. Yeah, they were like getting into like the vibe and stuff, and it was just like
you can't fault anyone for that, like as long as someone's doing something, I think that's kind of a win.
Oh, I loved it because like I was like, great, I can have another conductor. We're hiring.
Movement is like any kind of movement. Like I don't care how people dance. It's just as long as they do.
Yeah, I was just like kind of surprised. I'm always surprised at how many people do really like it and are like, wow, that's really weird, but it's cool. Like
I think everything is weird in its own right. So it's like just kind of having a place to showcase that. And sometimes shows like that where it's just like your stuff is unique and bold in one way, and then you have and now for something completely different. Sometimes the fun thing for me in curating those nights is like kind of making it like this mixtape. It's just like, oh, how do I make it flow? Where it's just like, you don't think this works until you see it work. And that's like the most fun thing about it for me. Speaking of the mixtape, we actually will have time for one more talk break. So let's do like a quick sum up of just, like 331, talk about that.
And keg and case.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, keg and case. There we go. That's a good one. But also where people can find you. So stand by. It's like 9 seconds.
Oh, I don't have that kind of time.
Radiohead off of the Bends. We also heard the Flaming Lips. She Don't Use Jelly and Ozma at the top of that set. If you're just tuning in, this has been Desert Islands. I was making a mixtape for the Common Practice. So if people like what they heard, where is the best place for them to hear it again? Do you have social media? Do you prefer a certain website people get directed to?
You can listen to us on thecommonpracticeband.com. That is our website that we made with a template.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Common Practice podiatrist.
Well, maybe you could team up for a co-sponsorship.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay, so you are every Tuesday at the 331 this month. Do you have anything else coming up that you would like listeners to know about before we get into Democracy?
Yeah, for those of you like my parents, where the 331 Club shows are a little bit past your bedtime.
Sure, that's valid.
A big show coming up at the end of October on Saturday the 29th. It's going to be a Halloween party for Clutch Brewing. It also happens to be Caitlin's birthday. That's going to be us, and as I was saying before, our bands-in-law. So we have Bryce's project Confuciusaurus, and my band, The Floating Perspectives, where you might see some overlapping faces between them, but actually quite a different sound.
What are you doing to my face?
We're gonna have you and Kaylee do a Nick Cage face off.
And did I hear something about Keg and Case?
Yes.
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 And did I hear something about Keg and Case?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Clutch Brewery's
Yeah. Oh, okay. See that I gotta get over there more because there's so much in that like complex that there's
just October 29th.
Hey, there we go.
And that music starts around 5 that day, is that right?
Yeah, I think we're starting I think the party will start at 4:30, and then we'll have music starting at 5:30 and running till about 8:30. So plenty of time for those that are really planning to hit the bars. You can stop at Keg and Cakes first. We will be having a costume contest.
Sounds
so
great.
You should definitely wear a costume if you're gonna go. I know I will.
Yeah. And Kaylee, did you want to mention the
yeah, we're also doing a pared down set with just the 4 of us at the Bryant Bowl.
Bryant Lake Bowl.
With just yep. And that's going to be just the singers and no rhythm section at Bryant Lake Bowl on October 15th.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, the common practice is also going to be every Tuesday at the 331 this month. We am not going to have time for the whole mixtape, but to play us out, here is some Ween. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate the fact that we could get so many of the band members. I was impressed. I didn't think it could be done. And here we are. Next week, we have the Foxgloves. And
I love them.
They're great.
They're so good.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to them. So stay tuned for that. And thank you to the Common Practice for stopping by. Stay tuned for Democracy Now!
Wow, we opened for Democracy Now!
I know, it's nerve-wracking. Like that's like a show like people actually get angry about when it's not available, but also like this is not, because you can kind of let a song conclude, but like if you get like past 5 minutes in, it's just like you keep changing your programming. Why you change your programming all the time? I've been listening to this station for so many years, and it's just like
I don't like change.
I don't want to mess it up. And it's legit because Amy Goodman's like doing the big work and the big things and the big stuff. It can be jarring coming out of my show because sometimes like I'll have like I don't know, like something really, really contrasting. Speaking of that, I should probably make the fade out.
KFAI FM, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Online and archived at kfai.org.
Here we go. See if the robot does its thing.
The viewpoints expressed in this
looks like it is. All right, I'm gonna have to end the chat here just because now that this program is on, I should get out of here. But thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
All of the logistics. So thank you for all of you
wanted to say bye. She texted in the band chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I mean, thanks for hanging out as long as you could, Annie. It was good to see. It was good to see you, and it was good to see all of you. And have fun at the residency. I'm going to try to make it to at least one, but also work is getting crazy. So if I'm not there, it's because I am handcuffed somewhere else. Metaphorically, not literally.
We don't judge anyone.
Yeah. And so what if I work? All right. So have fun. Good to see y'all. And hope to see you sooner rather than later.